taking off the masks of your false self and living authentically and feeling confident in being who you truly are all starts with fully embracing your real true self. So now back in 2018, I made the choice to embrace my authentic self, and I've been living as the real me since then. So in this video, I'm going to share with you exactly how you can start to do this as well and embrace who you really are today. So I actually even developed a framework for living authentically, and embrace is the second pillar of this framework. And I call this the REAL framework, which stands for release, embrace, act, and live. And all of these are really essential for stepping into your real self, and they all overlap and work together. If you want to dive deeper into this full framework, you can actually download a free guide that I've put together below this video. I'm going to touch on different points of this in this video actually as well. But again, if you want to have this copy for yourself, download it below. So how do you start embracing your real self? The first step with this is getting to know the real you. You know, who are you really? What do you like? What are your passions? What are your interests? What are your hobbies? What are your beliefs, your morals, your values? What are your goals, your dreams, your ambitions, your aspirations? What are your strengths? What are your weaknesses? You know, if you don't know who you actually are, then how can you actually even embrace yourself for who you are? So, I actually want you to do this as an exercise. I want you to write out the answers to all of those questions that I asked. Who are you? What do you like? What are your passions? What are your interests and your hobbies? What are your beliefs, your values, your morals? What are your goals, your dreams, your aspirations, your ambitions, your strengths, your weaknesses? I want you to write all of those things out, okay? Because you need to get to know who you really are. And then next, after reflecting on who you are, you're going to need to dive deeper, okay? And you're going to need to ask yourself, are all of these things who I really am, or are any of them me being who I've been told I need to be? Or, are any of these things the false version of me that I'm kind of pretending to be because I feel that's who I need to be? So with this list, I want you to circle all of the things that feel like they are really you, okay? And I want you to cross off all the things that feel like maybe they're you pretending to be somebody else, or you being a false version of yourself in order to meet somebody else's expectations. Because now, in order for you to actually embrace who you really are, you also have to release others' expectations of, who they think that you're supposed to be, so that you can start being your own person. All right? You have to make your own decisions that are right for you, not just because it's what somebody else wants or expects of you. And this is exactly what I had to do on my own journey. And if you don't know my personal story, my story is that I ended up realizing I was actually a lesbian while married to a man. And I made the choice to get divorced and come out so I could be the real me. And I grew up in an environment that was very Catholic conservative, and the idea of gay being wrong, and with sort of these expectations of the person I was supposed to be. And I had to release those expectations in order to actually embrace who I really was. So, again, your story might not have anything to do with sexuality. That's just mine. But it's this idea of releasing expectations that others place on us so that we can be our true selves. So that's why, going back to this list, you have this list of everything that you feel that you are, and those things that you cross off are going to help you start sort of releasing the expectations that others have placed on you, and you're left with a list of who you truly are. And you can start working towards embracing that person and taking action and living in alignment with that person. Okay, and that takes me to the next point. You also have to start taking action. It's one thing just to know who you truly are, but doing nothing about it is going to continue keeping you stuck being somebody that you're not. Now, for me, as I kind of shared my story, I had to make a really big choice and a big action and take a big action, which was choosing to end my marriage and come out. And you may not be ready for that. And I completely understand that you may not be ready for something big, but you can start taking small steps. This is a big action that happened in my life, but I started doing little things over time that slowly led me to really embracing who I was and figuring this out for me. It wasn't something that just happened overnight. When I look back, there was little things that happened along the way. So you can start taking some small actions, which could be, saying no instead of yes, or it could be prioritizing something that you feel that you need for yourself this week that maybe normally you wouldn't prioritize. Maybe it's some downtime, some quiet time, some me time, whatever that might be. It could be starting a new hobby or an activity, just something maybe that you really wanted to do but haven't because you've been worried what others might think, or you just have been putting it off. you know or it could just be something maybe a little harder, like having a hard conversation that you've been avoiding, or starting to set some boundaries with people in your life that maybe have been taking advantage of you. So you need to set those boundaries in order to protect your energy. And if you are needing to set some boundaries, which you probably are, because most people need some boundaries in order to protect their energy and really honor their true self, then I've made a couple different videos on that topic to help you start doing that. They should pop up around here. But no matter what it is, you just have to start taking some type of action. Because again, if you do nothing, you're not really being your true self, and you're not getting to the point where you're living and engaging and showing up as the real you. Now, something that I want to address with all of this is, it's one thing to start embracing who you are, but the thing that often holds people back is fear, guilt, and shame. These emotions of being scared to be who you are, scared to take action, feeling guilty for being who you really are, or even some shame about who you really are. On my own journey, again, I absolutely was terrified to come out and end my marriage and tell my Catholic conservative parents about my sexuality. And, I had a ton of guilt around ending my marriage. And I have a son that was involved in this and having him be a child of divorced parents. So I absolutely dealt with these emotions. But here's the trick with this as well: it's releasing the control that these emotions have on you. This, again, going back to those four pillars, releasing, you have to release the control. These emotions can be there, but you can't allow them to control you. This is what will keep you stuck in place, okay? I've actually made another video diving deeper into overcoming these emotions that you can watch here. And I also want to let you know that if you have really been trying to embrace yourself and trying to take action and trying to be your real self, but you are just still feeling stuck, and you just need more, then this is exactly what I offer in my one on one Live as the Real You program. I give you that support, I give you that guidance, I give you that accountability so that you can actually get to this point of living as your true self. Now, spots are limited for this because it is an exclusive one on one program, but you can learn more about this program and join the waitlist below this video.